The next question I asked was, are you often misunderstood, or do you often misunderstand other people? If you often get misunderstood when you are talking to someone, it's probably because you have not been able to align your message or arrange your message, structure it in a way that it is clearly passed to the other person you are speaking with. If you struggle with always getting misunderstood by people, then here are 3 tips that would help improve your conversation. Make sure you are using easy to understand words. Don't try and use all those big grammar or very strong words that you yourself you are yet to fully understand. Use very simple words. From there, you start adding other words to your dictionary. You start getting used to saying those other new words that you've learned. And that's how you just perfect. And also, you need to know who you are speaking with. Imagine you are speaking to people that they are people of a certain age group. You know that they will not fully understand some certain words that you would say. Why would you use that word? If you want to clearly pass your message, you need to be cautious of the type of words that you use when you are passing across your message. Reduce your use of filler words. Imagine as I was talking, the only thing I'm just saying is so you now do this you now like do this kind of thing, and then many people would always sound so chaotic and destructive. Like, anybody that listens to me would not be able to separate what I'm actually trying to say from the filler words that I've used. So get rid of filler words. The thing is, you just always feel like you have to fill the silence. Fill your silence with silence. Answer your silence with silence. When you are processing your thoughts, just keep quiet and let that pause. You know, the power of pause. Let it show in your sentences. It helps you to recollect your thoughts, and it also helps the other person to understand what you have previously said. The last conversation tips, if you always get misunderstood, is to be calm. Talk slowly. Talk at your own pace. Nobody's rushing you. Whoever wants to listen to you should be patient enough to hear your message. So talk calmly. Now, if you often misunderstand others, it may be because you were not listening to understand what they were saying. You were listening to respond. You were just listening so that you have an answer. So you're looking for the part of what they are saying that requires an answer. And so you feel like you are listening attentively. But unfortunately, that is the mistake many of us make. You have to be an effective listener so that you're able to digest whatever it is that is being said to you. If you're someone that just listens to respond, at the end of your conversation, you would not remember anything that was being said to you. You would just feel like you just say, oh, okay, no problem. You finish responding, and then that's all. Then that person now comes to tell you that, do you remember that time I told you this thing? You're like, hey, when did you tell me? Because you selected the ones that needed a response, or you selected the ones that you wanted to hear and respond to. So here are 3 tips if you often misunderstand others. You have to be an active listener. I have already explained what an active listener is. Someone who would listen and take every word that this person says, digest it, understand it. And that's where questions arise. So sometimes when you are in a classroom and then your lecturers ask, do you have any question? They understand that you don't have a question because you are probably just listening and picking the ones that you wanted to hear, or the thing was just flowing and going the other way. They expect that you would have questions, because if you were listening actively, if you're actively listening and effectively listening, you would have questions to some of the little things that they chipped into the topic of the day. Listen and ask questions if you do not understand, just like what I said. Lastly, make reference to the things that they have said earlier for a clearer understanding and so that they can explain it more clearly. I've been so excited to answer this particular question, which is, how do you feel after having a conversation with someone? Or how does someone feel, or people feel, after having a conversation with you? If you have ever felt drained, or you used to feel drained after having conversations with people, it's probably because that conversation or the topics that were discussed during that conversation stretched you out of place. It would not be a conversation that you would normally engage in, or the topics would not be what you would normally want to talk about. Or maybe you have gone to feel that silence and you overshared, so now you are feeling regrets and you're just beating yourself up for having to feel that silence. Another reason why you could feel drained after engaging in a conversation with someone could be because maybe you are misinterpreting their message. You have misinterpreted the way the message was, and so it just confused you. You didn't ask any question, you just let it go, and you could not even wait for the conversations to end. While you are intentionally giving short replies, this person is still talking and talking and talking. It's important that you know when to stop. When someone is trying to engage in a conversation and you know you are done talking, you can just say, oh, all right, thank you, I have to go now. The thing is, you don't even have to lie. Just, I have to go now. Oh, I'm really tired. My sister, I'm going. My brother, bye. So nobody is putting you on any spots. That's the thing. You're doing you. So when you feel like, I'm tired of talking, let the person know so that you can end that conversation and not stretch yourself out of place. In relating with people or engaging in any conversation, emotional intelligence is very important. Some people would see another person's reaction to what they are saying and they would continue talking. You know that this person is tired of hearing you. You are still talking. Emotional intelligence helps you to be able to perceive, process, and interpret the emotions of the person you are talking to. So you need emotional intelligence to be able to carry out your relations with people effectively. For this particular point, I have only 2 tips to share with you. Do not feel the silence. I think we've talked about this so many times. Do not try to feel the silence, okay? When you're done talking, say bye-bye. And then the second tip is for you to know the kind of conversations you are engaging in. If you know that this particular topic does not align with your value, don't continue the conversation. Okay, my sister, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Bye. And the last question I asked was, do you sometimes find it hard to get the right words to use in your sentences? Well, like I've said already, do not use big words. Look for the most simple words, the words that you too understand. Do not overcomplicate your sentence, okay? To end this video, I'm going to be reading an extra communication or conversation tip that I've written down here in my notes. Some people can say hello, but to say goodbye is the hardest. Have you ever been on a call with someone that does not know how to end their conversation? It is always funny and exhausting at the same time. For me, it is rather exhausting. If you struggle to end your conversations, here are some words that you could say instead of okay, bye, or some people don't even used to say bye-bye. Some people just end the call. Why? You tell them, I just called you, and then you state the reason why you called. If you called to check up, oh, I just called to check up on you. If you called to ask a question, oh, I just called to ask you a question. And then you say, take care of yourself. Bye, bye. Or, all right, have a good day. Enjoy the rest of today. Bye. You could also say, we should talk later. These things, there's so many things to say, okay? So don't give that awkward silence at the end of your call or at the end of a conversation. Even if you are in person, you're talking in face to face with that person, you can just say, oh, all right, that's nice. So that's nice. You turn away because you're done talking. So I hope this video helped you and taught you 1 or 2 things. If it did, add it in your next conversation and see the change that it will create. My favorite is being expressive with your words, your pronunciation, and giving life to the words in your story. Use them and thank me later. Bye.